Yo, what was that girl's name again?
Yeah, what's her name? What's her name?
Was it Jenny?
Nah, it was Susan.
Oh!
Hoping it's far away, never comes the day when I lose you.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're new. My name is Susie and today's video is a thrift flip. The item of choice will be a blazer. It's pretty long, but the longer the better, basically. It's from my local Goodwill. It was like $10 and I love the color. I'm like newly obsessed with the color green, so I thought it'd be cute to make a two-piece set out of it, so I'm going to show you guys how to make it. But if you enjoy the video, then give it a thumbs up, and if you like how my videos are made, or if you just like my channel in general, please subscribe because it's greatly appreciated. But let's get into it. So I'm going to be cutting the jacket around here in between these two buttons because you want this last button, like you're going to need it, so you want to keep it a part of the bottom half, which will become a skirt. So just cut it right around here. Ideally you want a jacket with more than 2 buttons. Mine has 3, but I won't be messing with this one. I'm just going to leave it. So this is like where I'll be cutting it. Okay, so because I don't have a marker, I'm using pins. And as you can see, that first pin there is where I'm cutting it. And you want to just pin through one layer, because if you pin through both, when you cut it, your lines can be, very not straight, obviously. So there you go. But I don't think it'll make that big of a difference as long as you know where the hell you're going with it. And then, yeah. So this is the rough line of where it's going. You can use a marker, like a washable marker. You don't have to use like chalk or something to, mark it. There you go. So that's like the rough line of where I'm cutting it. Now using fabric shears, you're just gonna cut it in half. You want to make sure it's straight, so obviously this one's not straight. So like that. And I'm just gonna cut straight down here. But first I'm gonna cut here. Probably shouldn't be doing that. It's very important to use fabric scissors, or else you're gonna get really jagged lines. This is the pin that went through both thing, and you can see how not straight it is, but we're gonna be having it like that, so you won't be able to see it anyways, so it'll be fine. But yeah, and then you're just gonna go, wow, does it have a pocket? It does. Okay, so that's nice. I was trying to figure that out. So you're just gonna go all the way through. Got it? So this is the dress now cut into 2. As you can see, I cut both of them pretty well. Okay, so now that you've cut it in half, you're gonna have 2 pieces, and this does not go with my outfit, but for the sake of it, it's gonna look like this. So you can either have it in the front, like this paneling in the front, because we're gonna sew on this button over here just so it matches. And then we're gonna sew in some clips in this inner layer so that we can stick it and it'll stay. But it's what it will look like. So you can have it in the front, or if you want, you can move it over to the side, have it like this, and you don't have to sew any buttons here so that when, you know, the wind goes by or whatever. But the only thing about it is it's going to be lopsided. You're going to have a pocket here and a pocket way over here. So that's why that option is better for blazers or jackets that do not have pockets. But what I'm going to do is like this. And I'm going to create a button down here so I can button it and it doesn't move too much. But roughly, this is what it's going to look like, you know? So, there you go. Let's get to sewing. Once you're done pinning it, it's going to be like this. And then now I'm just going to sew it and make sure it stays. So I'm going to record that and show you guys. So now that I've sewn and hemmed everything, even the top, as you can see, we're going to take this button off. And for that, you're going to need the seam ripper. And so you're just going to either stick it in here and try to get it off. Or if you can't, usually going behind the button works. But because this button, this is plastic right here. It's not the thread. You have to go from the back of the garment, and this is where you're gonna have to be very careful, because you don't want to get it wrong. Now the button's off, and this is because we're going to sew on these little buttons. These are like little snap buttons that we're going to put on the inside, like right there. Clip it on here. But this original button that we took off, we're going to put it somewhere here. Waist. Not too tight, but just enough to where you want it. And so my button has to go here. So just take a pin, right? And I'm just gonna mark dead center. Don't poke yourself. Oopsies. Move it to where you want it. Middle of like the hole. I'm gonna go like this. Don't poke yourself. And now you know where to put the button, right here. Okay? So that's where you're gonna sew your new button. Okay, to sew the button on, you're gonna take your needle and thread and go under. So I'm just gonna make sure I'm in the right spot, put the button through, right? Pull through, go back in. Oopsies, got caught on the tripod. Go back in. And then keep on going around the two holes. I'm gonna take out my pin though, now that I got it on properly. Okay, and then hold it in place. I don't know how accurate this is gonna be by just poking it. Okay, sorry if my head was in the way, but pull through. Again, go up and through, right? And then you're just gonna wrap around your button like this. You're just gonna wrap it a hefty amount of times. Okay. And then if you would like, go, ooh, back. Using the pinning method that you guys saw earlier that I did with the actual button, make sure you get it right. So if you know that this button, this goes over, right? I made the mistake of sewing it on this side, which was the wrong side, because these two are the ones kissing each other, the fabrics kissing each other. So make sure it's on right. And I have the two pins where they're supposed to be, right here. This side, the flatter one with this, is gonna go right here. And then this one is kind of, it's more thick. I don't know if you can see that. It's rounder on one side and then has that little button again. This goes on top with the round side, the thick round side facing. So know where your needle goes. So it's gonna go like this. I'm gonna put it on top, slip this through, and then pull through. Okay, I'm gonna remove the pin because now I know where the button is and it's not moving around anymore. I'm gonna go back in and pull through. So if you look closely, I don't know if you can see that, on these buttons they have 4 little holes, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're just gonna sew into those holes. So I'm gonna come out of, oh, it's not working. Oh, there it is. That hole. And then pull through and go back in this one right here. Sorry, I keep on moving. It's harder than it seems to be recording and sewing. It's very difficult to poke through the fabric in the correct hole, but there it is again. Go through another hole. Just repeat this process. I'm going to show you how to tie it off. So to tie it off, just knot it like so. Hold it open, press down, and I just pull through. And then I'll do that again about 2 to 3 times, depending on if I'm lazy or not. Sorry, it just knocked the camera. But 3 times is enough. And then I'll just cut it. You can burn it, like burn the edge of it to make sure, you know, there's no like little threads. And then you just repeat this to the side that's going to be kissing it, like that. So I'm going to show you that now. This one is just a tiny bit tougher because when you're sewing it, you do not want to sew through the other side. So you're just going in enough to kind of go in between the fabric. As you can see, wait. I went through this right there, but not on the other side, right? So I'm just gonna keep doing that like we did on the other side. And then you're just gonna tie it off again. So little hole, hold it down or press down, pull through, do it again, pull through, pull through, and then just snip it off. If your skirt isn't tight enough, you can always make darts in the back of your fabric to make it fit. So I took in about, what is this? This would be like 2 centimeters, maybe, yeah, 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, probably an inch if you're from the US. So yeah.